Okay, now we're back. So now let's work on our eyes. We've got our eyebrows, we've got our primer. Now we're ready to go. If there's one palette you could get, this is the one. This is the Naked Basics palette, and it is this wonderful little perfect collection of well matched and suited colors that go from a shimmer, the single shimmer, and the rest are matte. And this is important. And these are almost like a translucent brown and skin color. And this will work for anybody's skin color because there's some darker shades, medium shades, and then there's the lighter shades. So I'm going to start with just my e.l.f. flat top eyeshadow brush, and it's just shaped like this. And I'm going to go into Foxy, which is this slightly yellowish color. And this is a good color for my skin because I'm so fair, but it adds a nice creamy color right up under the arch. And I like this color for the eyelid because it adds a nice clean creamy color. So I have mostly creamed the Foxy color in through here. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my well-loved and well-used this week, my usually white, and it's sort of flattish, but it has the round tip. And this will be perfect because we're going to be using the tip to get in and do the crease. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in actually with the Naked 2, which is this color right here, and I'm going to go in with just the tip. And this is for a daytime look, and it seems like it's so light, but again, that's the trick. See, already that color does wonders to define the crease. And you don't ever want to not define the crease because it looks kind of silly if you don't show any lights and darks to your eyes. You don't want your eyes all lit up with a bright color or a light color, and all dark with just a dark color. You want to have dimension. And so what we're doing is we're actually giving the illusion that our eyes are a lot bigger by showing that it has a deep crease. We could use it just a couple little taps and do the outside, the outside third of the eye, and then we could come in like this. So we're creating just a V here, and maybe just a little bit up, like a little wide V. And don't worry if it's not perfect because we're going to be blending. Now the best thing to blend in this Real Techniques brush, all we're doing is just smearing what we put on so that we create a gradual gradient of shades. Now for daytime, this is kind of all we need for shadow. We could go a little bit darker if we were. So I want, again, just a couple little taps into the Crave, the darkest black. And absolutely the outer corner. I mean, just a little bit of flakes there. Just a couple little passes of it, and that's all. And again, we're going to go back to our blender. And it's important to blend before we add that last dark color because we want to see what we've already got on there before we just start adding. Again, less is more, and the more subtle the better. But we'll still look very finished and very refined. See, we don't have our eyeliner on yet, so okay, so everything's looking really pale at this point because we don't have our liner, and this is where you can see the absolute essentialness of having some kind of a liner, even if it's just a brown or a light brown. One last step I did forget is I did promise I would show you the highlighting. So now a good highlighter is the Venus, which is here, and it is a shimmer, so we got to be very careful. If I go in just here, and I'll show you the two eyes to compare, if I just go in here, see where the skin starts to get fuller? That's where I really don't want to get, but just by putting it in here, I do get the idea that my eye has been opened up and looks bright and wide awake. Now if I go in here, and let's say I go up a little bit more, let's say I do get the shimmer onto that skin. Let me show you what happens. What happens is we start to get the fish scales. Okay, so let me zoom in and see if you can see that. Ah, there it is. See that? See the comparison? You can really see the loose skin. Whereas here it's a little bit more minimized. See that? Really not attractive. Now the way to undo that then is to take a little bit of our eye cream. Again, we're using our MAC. Taking a little bit of our eye cream, and we're going to go and just kind of press down on it and just kind of pull up a little bit. And that's going to take just that top layer of shadow off. And if you feel a little too self-conscious about that, it doesn't hurt to put just a little bit on the top of your other eye, even if you didn't make the mistake, because adding that moisture is going to make all the difference in the world. Now we're going to do a little bit of liner. The liner I'm picking today is Skin Science, and this is another, this is the brand that I can find at my dermatologist boutique. And this is nice because it has some of that lash grower in it. So I really like to use this one, and it does seem to hold up throughout the day. I could go ahead and just use this brush here, or I could take my angled liner brush, the Sonia Kashuk angled liner brush. I am going to try to dip right inside here, and I think there's plenty just inside that little part. So I have just a little bit in here. The secret is to kind of start in the middle and just little strokes, and you want to get as close to the lash line as possible. And as you get closer into the eye, the more onto the lash line and lower down and lower that you want the line to be. You want it to be as slim as possible, because we really don't look like with raccoon eyes. Okay, so now I'm adding just a little bit of a cat eye, a little bit of a flick up, and pulling it in. So I'm allowing it to be a little bit thicker towards the outside of the eye. There we go. That's what I want. Now, to make sure when you do a little bit of a cat eye, you want to pull it down into that crease and make sure you fill that area in. Okay, now we don't want to do any more anything else under the eye. We're going to do that with our pencils, and that's as far as we want to go. And don't worry, it is going to look better when we get all done. The reason why it's a little bit harder to try with this is because the handle is a little bit longer, and you can see it's a little hard to hold. The handle is square, which isn't exactly ergonometrically designed. I'm not sure how you would say that. I don't think anybody has liquid eyeliners mastered. It just depends on the day, and honestly, it takes a lot of patience to do. So again, I'm just going very thin in here. So don't beat yourself up if you don't quite get it the first time, or on some days it just doesn't look right. Alright, so I'm going to stop there. They're about even. Less is more. Don't overdo it. So stop while you're ahead. So I'm kind of the Physicians Formula Naked Eye Shimmer Sticks, and these thin ones, they're absolutely spectacular. They are, I don't know how many sets of these I have, because I have them everywhere. They're really wonderful, and they'll kind of finish up and smooth out and blend out what we've already started here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start with the black one and just kind of finish what we started here. So I'm actually kind of going into the tight line here. This is called the tight line. And I'm going to just kind of go up underneath. And you can see already that fills it in. It's better that as we age that we have brown under here. So again, I'm just going to finish up this little area here and go ahead and get inside my tight line. You don't have to do this step. It's really up to you. This does look a little bit heavier, and you want to be careful, you know, about not letting it get too heavy. And you have to be kind of careful about wearing even black eyeliner. Some people would say we shouldn't even be wearing black eyeliner at our age, but I don't agree with that. I have small eyes, and I think without liner, you can't see my eyes. So next I'm going to go in with the darker brown. Okay, so now I'm going to come in and I'm going to finish off and go kind of right over the lashes here. Sticks are great because they blend. and I want it to be really subtle. Drama is really on the top line, not so much on the bottom. This is just to give us the bottom of an eye. It's, you know, to enhance and thicken what our, you know, our lower lashes would be if we had perfect lower lashes. Now I'm going to take my golden shimmer, the lightest color, and this is really great. A lot of people will do a white waterline, but more and more people are discovering that when you use this kind of sheeny, shiny, light mushroom color, it's a lot more natural. And here I can go right in, and this looks a lot more natural, and this helps to open up the eye, whereas white is so stark. For our age and things like this, this just looks a lot more natural. Now, I'm also going to take this, I'm going to start with the drier eye, and I'm going to take it right outside the cream liner, and as I do, you'll see it is kind of blending. There goes those wrinkles. It is kind of blending the black and kind of smoothing it out, which is what we want. It makes it a little more subtle. I could even go up this way, and you could leave it bright and shiny black, and that's okay. I like to have it a little more subtle, especially for daytime. And I kind of just go right over it, and that tones it down just a lot, but you still have it, and it still looks great. Eyelashes, and who doesn't love the L'Oreal Voluminous Million Lashes? And I pick waterproof again because I do perspire if I rub my eyes, and I do have eye allergy issues, so if they water and itch, I'm not completely ruining my look by the end of the day. This is a really great mascara. I hear a lot of people talk about it, and I finally tried it, and now I really understand what's so great about it. Because I went through a lot of mascaras trying to find just the right one, and I'm really pleased with this one. You can see how we have the illusion of really not having any eyeshadow on, but yet the eyes look very nicely groomed and defined, and it's perfectly good to go ahead and do your second coat. And that dark black line now merges in with our beautifully mascaraed lashes, and it gives us the impression that we have really nice thick full lashes, which once you get it all done right, it actually does look like that. Do during the day or work even. And this is again Skin Science Naked Pink, and this is just a perfect neutral that goes on perfectly over my nicely moisturized little lips. And I actually like to stop here. So I hope you enjoy these tutorials, and thanks so much for watching, and welcome to my channel, Grown Up Beauty.